Hey everyone, I'm Roger Palomino with Houston Media Source. Houston has a long history of filmmakers, Eagle Pennell and Wes Anderson, to name a few. The Gulf Coast Film and Video Festival has its run on September 23rd and 24th at the Nassau Bay Hilton. This continues a long tradition of film festivals in the fourth largest city in the United States. Hey everyone, I'm here with organizer and founder of the Gulf Coast Film and Video Festival, Hal Wixon. And this festival takes place September 23rd and 24th. So to give you guys a little bit about Hal, information, the Gulf Coast Film and Video Festival's mission is to showcase the discovery of new and emergent artists. And they want to encourage the work of indie filmmakers, promote the concept of film as an art, offering outreach and expanded awareness of independent film. Now, Hal is an actor, and he's worked on various films such as Sidekicks, Cultivating Charlie, Arlington Road, to name a few. So I want to ask you, how did this love of acting translate into this film festival?
A bunch of us were sitting around one time talking about the fact that there was only one type of networking organization here in Houston for acting and so forth, and somebody got a crazy idea. Let's put this networking thing together out here in the greater Clear Lake area. So we did, and it was fairly successful, but we still felt there was something else needed. And at the time, film festivals were starting to catch on. So someone with the bright idea says, let's put on a film festival here in the greater Clear Lake area in Houston. So foolishly, none of us knowing anything about a film festival said, yeah, that's a great idea. See, so it's kind of like, if any of you out there remember the old Andy Hardy movies, it was kind of like, well, I have a friend that has this, and we have a place we can show in the barn, and and so forth and so on. We had no money, so we all kicked in some money and opened up a bank account, and went to some very good friends of mine at the media departments at the University of Houston, who helped me with getting our very first guests, producer-director Walter Copelands, who has made such films as Downhill Racer, All the President's Men, so on and so forth. Well, we put the film festival together the very first year, and I felt it was a disaster. But some friends of mine that seemed to know more than I did came to me. I won't mention names, but they came to me and said, were you able to pay your bills? And I said, yes. And they said, did you have any money left over? And I said, well, we probably had about $5. And they said, well, he actually looked at me with a straight face and says, if you paid your bills off and you have some money left in your account, you were a success. It usually takes people, they could tell me, 7 to 8 years to reach that level. So they asked me, please, to try one more time the following year. And I must have been a little tipsy or something, and I agreed. So the following year, we had Loretta Swit as our celebrity guest for MASH and several other films and TV shows. And it just seemed to take off. And here we are, 18 years later, with our 18th Gulf Coast Film and Video Festival. Now, I don't know if that answered your exact question, but that's how we went.
Oh, that's great. So, yeah, I've read, too, that you've had a chance to work with actors like Jeff Bridges, Renee Zellweger, Sally Field, Joan Cusack, to name a few. And your influences have been, as we talked about, Marlon Brando and James Dean. How have these influences affected the way you see films, especially for this festival?
I still go to the movies and to my film festival and to other people's events and so forth, and I go strictly as someone who goes to see good films. And that's still, my opinion. And my opinion, all the films that come into my film festival are good quality.
Yeah, that's great to hear, because as you mentioned, now entering the 18th year here at the Clear Lake area, what are some of the changes you hope to see this year as previous years for the festival?
I will say this, that it seems like every year the films that come in are better quality. Mm-hmm. I think a lot maybe has to do with two things: the equipment that is out there for people to get, and talking to most of them is that a lot of the stuff now is becoming price-wise more reasonable to get. And so that makes it harder to judge the films, I think. But some of the things I'd like to see, we opened a genre or a category this year for drone films. I'd like to see some of those entered next year or the year after. I'd like to see some more foreign language films entered. I'd like to see actually more films from the Houston area sent in. We still get maybe only more than 50% from Texas. But I'd like to see more from the universities and film organizations, 48-hour, 24-hour film groups and so forth, send their films in. We have a lot of talent here in Houston, and I'd like to see it entered. I'd like to promote, as it says in our mission statement, I'd like to see those filmmakers promoted and recognized. And so look forward to seeing lots of films next year. It's too late this year, but we start pretty early, starting up for 2018's Film Festival. So look forward to seeing some new filmmakers.
Tell us about the Lifetime Achievement Award. I had an opportunity to see your website and some of the past winners. How do you decide on the Lifetime Achievement recipient?
These are people that I think would make very interesting guests. You kind of look at some of the stuff they've done, and nowadays with Facebook you can kind of see what their interest is and so forth and so on, and reach out to them after I speak to several of the people within my group, and run that past them and say, what do you think of this person, da 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 da. Maybe this is wrong, but one of the things in our Lifetime Achievement Award is we don't give a Lifetime Achievement Award to somebody who's 19 or 20 years old. We just don't think, even though we'd like to have them, we'd still like to have them come maybe as a, just to drop in and say hi or something, but, they need a little bit more years behind them, I guess you would say.
And where are the films going to be shown at for your festival?
It's going to be at the Houston Nassau Bay Hilton Hotel, located at 3000 Nassau Parkway, and it'll be screened Friday evening, September the 3rd, and Saturday during the day, September 24th.
And we were just talking to Hal Wixson, founder and organizer of the Gulf Coast Film and Video Festival, the 18th annual, here in the Clear Lake area in Houston. Thank you very much, Hal.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching the highlights of the Gulf Coast Film and Video Festival. For more information about this festival, the website is www.gulfcoastfilmfest.com. With Houston Media Source, I'm Roger Palomino. Thank you for watching. We'll be there.